What's up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, I'm just gonna go through today's trade. Today is the 10th of October 2023. It's a Tuesday. So today I was actually able to catch, let me just calculate it quickly. I was able to catch 100 pips, no, 100, around 114 pips there. Then I did a quick scalp now for like just, I think it was 30 pips. And I actually had a position from here also all the way to the top. So 123, let's just say all in all about 150 pips today I caught. Yeah, I caught 150 pips today. And so let me just show you all exactly how I did it, right? So if you all watched my other videos, you will know my strategy by now, but I'm going to go through my thinking, my zones that I did and why I did these zones, right? So let me just get to the 925 candle. Okay. Okay, so just going to drop to the 30-minute chart. So remember the bank zones that we use, we only draw them out on the 30-minute charts, right? So we take this gray part is all of the New York sessions, US sessions. So price was around here, so we took this section, this bank zone here, which was yesterday's high. Then the next zone that I was looking at, because see this zone was too high here, so I took this zone. So from the previous day, because I was looking for another zone like very close to currently where price is. So this was a nice zone and it was a strong zone because you can see it was used once, twice, and 3 times here. So this was a very strong zone. So I knew that if we respected this zone, if we broke above this zone, we were definitely going for buys. And if we couldn't get through this zone, then we were looking at sells because this is a strong zone. So, and then these 3 TP zones I just took from the other recent highs that I had. So there was one there. There was one here. This was a low from this day, and then there was another one. Right. So we got the bank zones. Then let's drop down back to the 5-minute chart. Okay. Right. So main thing is, so I've got these 2 bank zones here, right? So technically what we're waiting for is, remember price is above this zone. So there's only 2 things that can happen. Right? Price can come down, reject, and buy, or price is going to come down, break, retest, and sell. Right? Price can only do 2 things because price is above this zone. Right? Let me just take this out. Now, if price is below this zone, price can only do another 2 things. Right? It's either going to break through, retest, and buy, or we are looking at a push up, reject, possibly a retest, and sell. Right? Those are the only 2 things we're looking at. So now what I do is I've got these 2 zones, right? So these are my key zones. I'm only trading, like, hear me out. I'm only trading once these zones are getting broken. I am not trading inside of the zones. I'm not buying off the US high. Well, I did today, but I'll show you why. I'm not buying off the US high. I'm not buying off the US low. I'm not buying off Asia low. I'm not doing all that. We can do those things, but the risk, the probability of failure is much higher, right? And I'll show you why just now. So what I do is I've got my other sessions indicator here. So this shows me I've got a few sessions set up. So I've got, I think this is, one of them is Sydney. One of them is Asia main. So there's a main Asian session here. And one of them is Tokyo, right? So what I do is the main Asian session. I take the lows and the highs. I had the high, but I deleted it because it wasn't valid today. So I deleted that high, right? So let's forget about that. So the only zone that was valid for me today was the Asia low. You'll see why just now. The US low and the US high, right? Now, why do I have these zones, but I don't trade off them? I'll explain to you now. So the reason why I have those zones is mainly to confirm my bias towards a buy or sell, right? Now, I know, now remember, in 9 times out of 10, your US high, your US low, your Asia high, and your Asia low will always be below the zone you are potentially looking to trade off. So right now, if I'm looking for a buy here, right, you can see the other zones are all below this zone. So we have the the US high here, the US low, the Asia low here, and the Asia high was here. So all below this zone. So it's just extra confirmation to show that my buy is valid, right? So I know if we are through all of these zones, the probability of our buy sticking is much higher. If we are through these zones to the downside, right? That's why I said I'll only break and retest and sell, but I wasn't going to sell unless it went through the Asia low. So if we were through all of these zones, my sell bias was going to be much more stronger because I have all of this confirmation. Now, let's get into the trade and then I'll show you exactly where I entered and why I entered, right? I did make a mistake today, but I'll show you that now. So this is the, what's this? 920 candle, 925, and then there we go, right? So this is 930. So now this is the NYSE open. You can see price pushes down. We're still in these like zones, so I'm not even considering entering at the moment, right? I think next candle we push down. We respect the Asia low. Now that's why the Asia low is so important, because it's actually a point that we respect also. There's another thing that I use called pivots. I'll get into the whole pivot strategy once we find a trade one of the days where the pivot is actually needed. Right now we're trading above the pivot, so that also means that I won't say more bias towards buys, but the likelihood and the possibility of a buy is much higher because we're above the daily pivot, right? So the next candle, 5 minute, we reject the Asia low and then we start pushing up, right? Now, so we start pushing up, we threw the US low, we threw the US high. Now, my stupid ass today, what I did was, which is not right, to be honest, like I think I hesitated and I just like acted prematurely, but it worked out for me. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, where was it? I probably entered on this candle. I entered buys here, right? But the reason why I'm saying I was stupid, I should not have entered a buy here. I'm only supposed to enter buys once the candle closes out of the zone. Because right now, price respects bank zones so well that unless price closes bullish outside of the zone, there's a high possibility that it can just retrace and come back down and respect that zone. So I feel that I messed up. It worked out in my favor today because I got a better entry, because the candle that did close outside of the zone was really high up. It worked out in my favor today, but I won't be doing this again from tomorrow. I need to like chill and relax, because I was more focused on getting like a sniper entry here, rather focused on actually waiting for price to get out of the zone. So I entered here, right? So let me just get that long. So I entered here and I was targeting obviously this zone here, right? I'm just going to make this a bit smaller. Then I'll show you where I re-entered. So I had two positions here, which is already me over leveraging again. I'm going to be open and honest about this. So I opened one here, and then I think as I saw this candle pushing up, I opened another position around here. And so I had both of these positions, right? Let me just put these lines so we know. So I've got one position here. Let's make this a better color. Since they are buy positions, let's make it green. So I've got that one position there. I've got another position here, right? Now I'll show you what happened and where I entered again. So if I'm not mistaken, we pushed up. I was like so excited, and you can see it obviously closed in the zone again, which this is actually on this candle is when I really started doubting myself, and I'm like, I think I messed up today. I shouldn't have entered this trade. And I was like, this thing is going to go down because it's rejecting the. So then we pushed down here. And I think the next candle, right? Now, this is where things got juicy. My stop loss for those two positions was actually here. This is where things got juicy, right? I entered off the US high, which is something that I don't do, but I'll show you why I did this. So I pulled my fib from here, from the swing low to the swing high, right? And now I'm sure you can see why I entered. Price tapped the 618 level and it rejected here. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm already in deep. I'm going to go one more position. So I open another whole position here, right? So let's get another one going here. Let's just get that. And my stop for this one was the same as this. So same stop loss, and TP was the same. It's around there. I mean, this is such a good trade. I mean, look at this. A 1 to 12. And, you know, I closed this trade earlier. I think I closed it around here. Only because like I was happy with the profits of all the trades, and I was like, you know, screw it. I'm just gonna close. And I saw some rejection, even though there was literally no traffic here, and it was guaranteed to go up. I wanted to go to gym, and then like, you know, FOMO, and I was just like, you know, screw it. I'm gonna close it. I'm happy. I don't want to be greedy. So I ended up closing here. But I mean, if I let it hit TP, this was such a lovely trade. A 1 to 12.4 ratio, like. So then let's get our other mark in here. So we entered here, right? Now we have these three positions. I'm gonna show you exactly what happened. So we pushed up. I was like, okay, cool. But then the irritating thing is we weren't closing inside that zone again. So I was like, oh shit. Then we had this candle, this lovely candle here. I was like screaming in the house and stuff. I was so happy. Once I saw this candle, I was like, okay, cool. So what I did was I actually did the opposite. I closed the lowest position. So I ended up closing this one. I moved the stop loss there, and I closed out this position around here, right? So 88 pips. I closed that one out. Then here, what I did was I closed half of this position. I moved everything to break even. I closed one of these positions. So I closed another one here and I let one run. But I didn't let it go all the way to TP. I'll show you where I closed it out. I actually closed it there, right there. So that's where I closed one. So yeah, I mean, it was a good trade. And the irritating thing is that if I just waited a little bit, it just retraced a little bit and it pushed up. It was so good. And I was actually happy with this because I pulled another fib from there, swing low to swing high, and I saw it was respecting the 618 level. That's what made me more confident. And if I'm not mistaken, I ended up doing a small scalp here. It was just like I bought here and I probably closed there. It was just to like get that that itch that's inside you, just to get that out of me. And then I left a tiny runner, like 0.1 or 0.2. I left a tiny runner to just a tiny runner. Come on, side. I left a tiny runner to go all the way to the top, hit TP, and I was out. I was happy. So all in all, it was a good trade. And then I left the charts. I went to gym. I come back like literally now, like just before I decided to make this video, right? So I'll show you exactly where I came back home. So this hit TP while I was at gym. So when I came home, I saw this. It was, no, not that one. No, yeah. I came home and I saw this. Now, when I came, this candle was still forming. So I saw it here. I'm like, that's a nice rejection wick to the bottom. And there was only like one more minute for it to close. I'm like, nah, this is a good one. So I ended up taking a buy here, and I just closed out on the next candle. Oh, yeah. I ended up closing out on the next candle, which was this one. I closed just around there. So there's another small scalp trade. Made some good profits on it. I went like a 3 lot. And yeah, so that was it. That was today, and it was actually a good day. I think yesterday I also had like a super day. I called the buys. Yesterday was such a good day actually. So yesterday I actually managed to sell from this zone here. I sold here on the retest. So I saw it broke down, it rejected the zone, and it went back for a retest and rejected it again. So I sold here, closed all my profits down here. I rebought at this green zone that I drew out in the beginning. I drew this out because there was a fib level here that I was looking at for the retrace. So yeah, I got in on a buy here. I closed profits here. I saw this happen. I was like, no, we have to get in again. But I don't know why. Like I saw this and I saw it like going out of the zone, even though it didn't close below. I just said, screw it. I'm happy with the profits I made. I think yesterday I caught like about 200 pips. Just these two moves. I was like, I'm done with that. But I think what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to start trying to document every day my trades, whether it's winning or losing trades, because the more you guys watch the strategy that I use and how I implement it, the more you guys are going to be able to follow my strategy. And it's so simple. It has such a high probability win rate. Like I'm actually on a funded account at the moment. And if I just pull up my stats quickly, let me try and get this. Let me try and get this on the screen. No. I mean, look at these stats, right? If you see the stats, where is this? Average risk to reward 7.8, a 91% win rate. I mean, these are high stats. These are good trades. So this is the scalp trade that I did just now. So I mean, yeah, it was a good day, it was a good trade, and I think that it's a good strategy. It definitely has a high win rate, but you have to follow it strictly. Like I am admitting that I did mess up today by not waiting for that confirmation for the close out of the zone. Won't happen again, but I mean, you live and you learn. If I lost it, I lost it. I mean, it's one of those things. That's trading. But yeah, thanks guys. I will catch you in the next video. Please do that stuff, like, comment, subscribe, the usual stuff. Please, I'm trying these things. I'm trying. And it's gonna motivate me to want to do more. Oh, this is such a good buy. If I held this, but I wasn't gonna held that big stop loss now. Anyway, cheers guys.